welcome to the Dojotalkpodcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Alright. A little 10-second lead in, and I'll just go. I'm gonna try to ignore my hunger pains.
I can send you some Taco Bell. Hurry up. No, I was talking to my friend.
We're just gonna start just like that. Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. We're on episode number 56. As you can hear, we have guests in the building. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Anti-Cool, and we got the homie Stoges, who we couldn't get last week, but he's here. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry I couldn't make it last week. Honestly, I was just really hungover, sick, and just like coming down off drugs. I didn't want to like embarrass TJ's family or something, you know. I thought it'd be better for everyone if I just didn't show up.
TJ's family did embarrass themselves, bro. So
yeah,
his brother tried to get in Cody Garbrandt's face after the fight.
Fuck.
Oh, is that who that was? I didn't even know that's who that was.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
just a little quick story from around my woods. Like, there's like a rumor like a year or two ago about TJ. He was out here at a bar, and allegedly like someone sucker punched him in the back of the head, and we never found out if it was true or not, because it was either TJ or his brother that got sucker punched in the back of the head.
The Legend of Dillashaw and the Phantom Punch.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's been a interesting, really interesting weekend. Somehow within like the last 72 hours, the floodgates of MMA just opened, and the MMA gods just let chaos ring. So hopefully we can get to all the news, because it's so much that just happened within like these last few days. But I guess we'll stick to fights first, and then we'll unpack everything. I don't even know where to start, but we'll somehow get around to it. But guess we'll just start from the top.
I know where we're gonna start. We're gonna start in Ireland.
Yeah, that is true. From there, I don't know where to go. It's that one situation by itself.
That's a whole episode.
It literally is. It's a whole episode in and of itself. Like, it's, oh man. We'll get through these fights first. I can't wait to talk about that situation. It's so. But anywho, UFC Fight Night 120. Poirier versus Pettis went down yesterday in Norfolk, Virginia. Shout out to VA. I actually used to live over there. Yeah, man. Main event: Dustin Poirier, Anthony Pettis. Before we get to the fight, just to complain again, 6-fight main card, man. Like, are we ever gonna
Stop it?
Yeah, are we ever gonna just calm this down? Like, literally, by the time it got to the feature prelim, I was ready to pass out. Like, it took some real willpower to get through this card. Not that it was a bad card, but like, I was just so tired. But main event made it somewhat worth it. Got a nice bloody just violent fight between Poirier and Pettis. I was 50-50 going into this one. I was not really sure who I was going to pick. I was slightly leaning toward Poirier just because I feel like he just has more finishing power. At least he's shown as of late. And Pettis, he's been he looked good in the Miller fight, but, he's still been a little wishy-washy lately, so I didn't feel 100% comfortable picking him.
Also, Miller has Lyme disease. Miller has Lyme disease, so there's that.
And but I didn't expect this fight to be like this bloody and like chaotic. I thought it would be either Poirier would maybe clean him, maybe catch him with like a flush left or something, or Pettis would hit one of his flashy moves or sneak a submission out like he did in the Melendez fight. But instead we got a nice a nice little bloodbath. But I think once again in this fight, Pettis is still, I think they mentioned earlier, he's doing like strength and conditioning now. But I still think some of his old like flaws are still haunting him. Like they're still there. And Poirier definitely took advantage of him. He was able to put pressure.
You mean he just wilts to any kind of pressure ever?
Like, it's just, and I mean, I thought it started off decent. Like he was, Pettis was getting some, nothing too crazy off, but he's getting kicks off. They're trading shots. Pettis was throwing like that straight right down the pipe. So like he was doing good at first, and then I think that they had like a mini flurry that happened where Poirier, I thought, was definitely getting the better of that exchange. Pettis did land a nice little like counter uppercut though. That was pretty nice. And then like after that, you could tell, man, Poirier just started pouring it on him, and he was taking him down pretty much at will. And then took him down. He got the elbow in. Pettis' face immediately just looked like he got slapped with like 3 ketchup packets. And I just felt like after that cut, it never got better. I mean, props to Pettis. He is one of those dudes that like even when he's on his back, he's constantly active, throwing up legs, trying to get any submission he can possibly go for. But it just felt like it was a matter of time before the fight was going to be over. I wasn't expecting that ending. And it really, when it happened in real time, like I didn't really catch it, but I kind of had an idea because you could tell.
Yeah.
When he turned into the body, like you could just tell, like it just looked painful. Like he just looked really uncomfortable. But I didn't realize he had tapped until I saw it on the replay. But I don't know, man. I don't know about Pettis, man. Like he's really, really talented, but I just think in this division, especially how it is now in 2017 with guys like Poirier and like fights they don't get any easier. And I just think a lot of guys at this point have Pettis kind of figured out. Like if you can get pressure on him and get him down, you just make him uncomfortable, and he just kind of has no way out. Like it just seemed like Poirier was kind of muscling him around in there. Yeah. And yeah, great job on Poirier though. Like this was a really good performance. I know the Alvarez fight, that was a no contest, right? Like, officially, I think that's what it was ruled.
So good.
Yeah.
I believe. But even still, these are 2 good performances from him consecutively over 2 big names that I'm pretty sure, hopefully, well, who knows how this division is with 155, but, like, this should line him up for a pretty nice fight next.
I hope he gets some, yeah. No, go ahead.
He wanted Gaethje, the winner of Gaethje and Eddie.
So weird.
Yeah, I say that works.
Do you think that's a realistic option?
Absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, because everybody would probably want to see the Eddie rematch, and at the same token, nobody's going to be mad at a Gaethje fight because we've all seen what he can do, and we all know what Poirier can do. So, like, either of those matchups, I'm down for either or. So, yeah. If he's not getting a title shot, why not give him that? And if he wins that fight against either of those 2, I think he's earned I think he's earned a title fight.
What was his fight before the Eddie No contest?
The Jim Miller fight.
Yeah, Jim Miller.
Oh.
And
Was he
before
on the
that,
street?
no, he got knocked out by Johnson before that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're right.
So, like, for, like, the first 4 minutes of this fight, Anthony Pettis looked really good. Like, he was circling back to the center of the cage. Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay. He was circling back to the center of the cage after, like, he was landing combinations when he was on the outside. He was working leg kicks. I'm assuming his team studied the Miller tape really close, where Poirier was basically on one leg for part of that fight, and we're like, leg kicks are going to be our key to victory. He did a good job of not staying in the pocket with Poirier, and then with like 45 seconds left in the round, all of that went to shit. Poirier literally backs him into the cage, lands a series of just clubbing lefts and like that uppercut you mentioned. And like it's not like Pettis was out of the fight, but like that's the exact type of fight you don't get dragged into if you're Anthony Pettis.
Right.
You have to keep, like, if you're not pressuring, you have to keep moving, and you have to keep coming back to the center of the cage. You can't have your back to the cage and just give up all that space for you to operate. And it went all downhill from there. Like that, in that exchange, Poirier opened up a cut right underneath Pettis' left eye, and it never stopped. Like it never stopped from there. He gets him down the next round, and he gets him down with Pettis' head up against the cage. And what does Pettis do but go for triangles and arm bars and kimuras?
He was grabbing anything for his life.
I mean, he had one good moment where, like,
yeah,
it was one moment where he managed to reverse position and get back on top because he landed like elbows of his own.
Yeah, he did that. He did that really nice like kick, wrap the heel with one leg and then kick the hip with the other, and like he managed to get up from that.
Right.
But like while he's going for triangles and arm bars and all this other stuff with his head up against the cage, Poirier is opening him up with elbows and ground and pound, and he's just scoring points and doing lasting damage while Pettis should be trying to get up. And the thing is, when there were instances where Pettis was just like decided to get up, or he would create space in like reverse position, like he did when Poirier got his back the first time. He did a good job of flipping over and actually rubbing his wound in like Poirier's face, so that blood was all over his face and he couldn't see. And I think I think it's pretty clear at this point. Like Pettis is a jiu-jitsu player, fighter, like a submission fighter with a dangerous striking game. He's not a striker. He's not a positional grappler. Like he's just a finish guy. And if he can't get the finish and he can't get space to operate, so he can get those kicks off, his game just completely shuts down.
I never thought about it like that. And when you think Pettis, you just think, oh, this guy's a stand-up dude, but it's a lot of submission.
Yeah, like everything about him just seems like everything's a route to like a submission one.
Yeah.
And at 30 years old, like, and with all these injuries behind him, I'm not sure what there is left for him. Like he's not going to, if he's not going to technically get better as a striker, well, like I don't know what he can do.
Yeah, like he's always got a chance in the fight because he is one of those dudes that like in a split second can turn it around. But at
I'm
the
not
same
even sure
time,
he has that anymore though. Like He's looked less and less athletic, like ever since the RDA fight, basically.
Yeah, I don't, and it sucks because like I feel like if he was in another division, like his shelf life could be longer.
Yeah.
Because I think his talents could get him further. But like 155 is just such a shark tank. Like I imagine like even if he comes back, whatever his next fight is after this, like even if it's someone ranked below him, technically the fights still don't get easier. Like everybody in that division, like 1 through like 20, is still going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what you do with him or.
Oh, and shouts to Joey, from the Sports Sound Off, for pointing out Duke Rufus' this terrible corner advice where he just where Poirier has Pettis' back, and Rufus screams, "Duke, roll for a knee bar," and Pettis rolls for a knee bar and just like completely like not face plants, but he is nowhere close. And Poirier ends up on top and just batters him.
Man. Poirier's come a long way though, man. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
A long way.
He finally got that signature win.
I mean, realistically, if you look at the way the Alvarez fight played out, he probably should be on a 3-fight win streak.
Like didn't that fight ended with Alvarez on top of Poirier beating the crap out of him?
But there was some wasn't that knee illegal though, right?
The knee was illegal, but like this was so Poirier boxed Alvarez up for a round and hurt him. Alvarez comes back in the second, and just at one point his switch just flips and he just starts beating the crap out of him. And Poirier is on the ground up against the cage because Alvarez put him there, like violently. So I'm not sure Eddie was on the grass, within finishing distance or whatever. But like Poirier was not in a good position when that fight ended, even without the knee. You know what I mean?
I have to go back and rewatch. Haven't seen that fight in a while, but either way, I think he definitely only goes up from here. Yeah, like we said earlier, whoever wins out of Gaethje and Alvarez, I think that fight makes a world of sense. From a fan's point of view, you don't lose no matter who he fights because you know you're just gonna get violence. For Pettis, I don't know.
That's a Fox headliner.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you throw that and yeah, just let the violence fly, and everybody will win. Everybody will be happy with that. Yeah, for Pettis, I don't know, man. Like I don't know where you really go after this, or I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll find somebody to match him up with, but there aren't really any names that like stick out to me that like I would really like want to see him fight at this point.
Mine's is still Jose Aldo, but
I gave up on that fight a long time ago. I've just accepted that fight's not gonna happen.
Other than that, you just have him like as a gatekeeper to like the top 15. Just if there's somebody on the run, you just give him Pettis. That's really all you can do.
Yeah. I don't know. I always just want to hold hope that somehow he'll still find a way to pull it all together, but I don't know. Like he made it to the top of the mountain. He got knocked off, and it just feels like he just hasn't been. I don't know. Like he just hasn't been right since. But great win for Poirier, though. You set yourself up for some really good fights. And I think at this point, he's definitely making a bigger name for himself, and I think he'll definitely win some people over. Like he's a fan-friendly fighter. You know if he fights, win or lose, is going to be blood. Somebody's getting knocked out or dropped repeatedly. So yeah, man. Shout outs to Poirier, man. He's setting himself up for some really good future fights, and wouldn't be surprised if he's fighting for a title like at some point in 2018. Like he might claw his way up in there. But yeah, main event was nice and bloody, so definitely give that a watch if you guys haven't checked it out. Guess moving on to the co-main event.
Well, do
Oh.
you guys think that was like a fight of the year contender? Because like before the ending, I was like, oh damn, this is fight of the year contender. But then the ending happened, I was like, ah.
Do we explain the ending at all?
I think I briefly mentioned it. I mean, all right. So I'm trying to think. So basically, he had the body triangle. Poirier had the body triangle locked in, and what happened? He had his back first, and then I guess he trying to go to mount. I think that's kind of how it.
Pettis was turning into the triangle, trying to like flip him over, and I guess Poirier was like moving towards mount.
Yeah. So they just kind of like.
And it was and I guess somewhere along the way, one of Pettis' ribs just gave out or something.
Yeah. And he just tapped.
And he was forced to tap. So.
And I knew I was setting myself up for this. I rewatched the fights this morning on YouTube. I knew I should have stayed out of the comment section, but I'm a glutton for punishment. To the people, you know, that's, oh, why'd he tap? He shouldn't have tapped. Like, oh, he was just scared to keep getting punched. And it's like, stop, like, just stop.
Yeah, people are garbage.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna elaborate. Just stop. Like, I can critique like Pettis' game, but I would never say Pettis was scared to get mounted. Like that sounds just. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it. But stop being a keyboard warrior. Just stop. Just stop. But this co-main event, Matt Brown and what I guess is kind of sort of his retirement fight. Like, I feel like he didn't officially retire.
He'll be back.
But because I felt like before this fight happened, like it sounded like, oh, he's done after this. But like after the fight, it just kind of seemed like, yeah, maybe I'll come back.
When this fight was booked, he was like, "This is my last fight." But all this week, he's been like, "Oh, if I'm not really 100% on that anymore."
Because he was like, yeah, apparently like he had a really, really good like training camp, and like he just felt really good. So.
Dude, they showed his walkout, like, because they thought that he was retiring. Like,
right.
Come on, man.
I don't know. I feel like fighter retirement is kind of like rap retirement. Like, it's not a real thing until like your body just physically tells you like, okay, we can't do this anymore.
And even then, that's still not a real thing.
Right. Oh man, yeah. I just hope, Brown, just don't be one of those guys that fights like 8 fights past your retirement. But I mean, in this fight, he looked, he looked like he's
like
still.
Matt Brown.
Yeah, there's still gas left in the tank.
I mean, let's be clear. He was fighting Diego Sanchez, who should have retired like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
and was literally just fighting at featherweight not too long ago.
Yeah, this Diego came out just super aggressive, immediately going for like takedowns and just trying to bring the fight to Brown. And I was just waiting. Like I didn't think the fight was gonna end the way. Well, I don't think anybody could have predicted elbow that broke the space-time continuum. We'll get to that in a little bit. Like, I just felt like Brown was just waiting for a moment to just kind of let off, because he was being like pretty patient. He was throwing a few jabs here and there. He did eat though that nasty body kick that like folded him for like a quick second, which is, I don't know. I feel like those kicks are like his like kryptonite. Like, I've noticed that in like a lot of his fights. If you can get him with a body shot, like he feels it instantly.
Heroin ruined that man's liver. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Because like I remember that in the Jordan Mean fight, because Mean tagged him with a nasty body shot. I don't remember if Silva. I can't remember if Silva got him with one.
Someone really hurt him with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Silva. And I want to say Lawler got him there once.
Yeah, like he's that's proven like an area for him. But the dude is he's a zombie, so he just kind of just fights through it somehow. And yeah, man, I'll just skip to the ending because that so Sanchez throws a kick, Brown catches it, backs he holds his foot and just like politely walks him to the cage, and then like launches the hardest elbow. And like if you didn't see this in real time, you don't know how wild this looked to watch the broadcast while it was happening. Like he throws the elbow, and in mid elbow sequence, the
telecast went out.
Right, he just glitches the matrix, and the telecast like it fast forwards to the ending. So like he throws an elbow, you get this little glitch, and then when it comes back, Sanchez is just laid out on the ground. You have no idea what happened, and then the telecast rewinds to try to show you the elbow again, but then there's like another glitch, and then it just skips to like Matt Brown's just walking around. He's like patting his elbow, so like you get an idea like, oh, I guess that elbow landed, and then we get the replay. So like his elbow literally just like cracked a hole in the universe. But when they showed the replay though, that elbow was vicious. Like
I like to think that like the people at FX are like, if Diego Sanchez goes down, we're going to cut. And we're going to make sure he's alive before we actually show the knockout.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, that elbow was. He put everything in his mind and body in that elbow, and yeah, Sanchez just folded. There was no need for follow up, ground and pound. There was like that was a wrap. That was a wrap.
That was legitimately one of the best elbow KOs I've ever seen.
Yeah, no question. And like I would say, man, Matt Brown, if any by chance you're listening to this, if you're gonna retire, man, like that's how you got to go out. Like just walk away. Let this be your lasting memory. Let that be your last moment. You got one of the most vicious elbow KOs anybody will ever watch. That's the mark you need to leave out on.
Let me do that to Antico.
No.
My God.
Because I don't think you could do it hard enough where I'll just go out, so I'll actually feel it.
That, and I don't want you to break the time continuum, and I don't want to get rewinded in real life. Like, oh man, yeah, that was, God. Like, just walk away. Like, that's the perfect way to end. Careers don't end. Like, the only way that could have gotten better is if it was for like a belt or something. But other than that, like, you can't end your career on a better note than that. That's the equivalent of like a walk-off homer, and you just win the game. Like
you're walking away with extra 50 G's. Like, go take that money and go do something else with your life.
Right. Just go home. And yeah, Sanchez.
You also go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diego Sanchez will never not fight in the UFC because if he was to be let go, Bellator would sign him in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just have to get used to this stretch of where Diego's no longer this like really durable guy, and he's just going to keep going out on TV and getting knocked out.
I want BJ Diego too.
No.
Yes.
No. We cannot no.
Bellator pay-per-view headline.
We cannot advocate this kind of.
I mean, they're going to fight again. They might as well fight each other.
Oh no, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I'm paying $60 for that.
Oh man, if that fight does happen, can it be a prelim? I don't want that on the main card. I don't want millions of
That's
people.
a co-headliner. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I can't support any furthering of BJ's just whatever he's doing right now. But it needs to stop. Right. That is a Bellator card. That fight has Bellator written all over it though. Like,
What weight class?
Welterweight.
What weight class though?
yeah, why not at welterweight at this point?
Middleweight. Fuck it.
Oh man, but
BJ found like 190 right now.
Just be able to catch weight at whatever they're fighting at right now, whatever their walk around weight is. Just let them go at it.
Hey, legit, why do they have to cut weight? They're fighting each other. Like,
oh man, I always forget. Like BJ Penn fought Lyoto Machida. Like that was a fight that happened.
Oh my god, legendary.
Oh man.
Legendary.
But yeah, man.
He was
Props to
Cody
Matt.
McKenzie before Cody McKenzie.
Legit. Just didn't have the shorts. But props to Matt Brown though. Like I'm gonna say, dude, just retire, man. Let that be your. The only other fight I think I would want to see him in that we never got to see was him and Condit. But Condit's fighting Magny, so you know. I don't know. Maybe it could still happen. I wouldn't mind that being his last fight if he does come back. I would like to see those two go at it. But hey, man, if you're gonna walk away, let this be the walk away. That's your send off, walk off homer. You broke the time continuum. I don't know what else you want. Like,
we'll see you in 8 months, Matt Brown.
Probably. He'll end up kicking off the new year somehow.
Well, like legitimately, what do you see Matt Brown like going to do? Like Matt Brown doesn't seem like the type who's just gonna go and open like a sports bar or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or go be like a used car salesman.
Nah. He's probably one of those fight until you just physically can't do it anymore kind of guys. Yeah, he does give off that vibe. Yeah, like he was just one of those dudes that was put on this earth to just fight. Like, and that's just what he's gonna do. But yeah, if there's any KO you watch on this card, like that's it. Like that's one of the nastiest elbow KOs you'll ever see. This next fight, I don't have a ton of input on, other than Junior Albini's attire, which I guess we'll get to. But Andre Arlovski, Junior Albini. Albini did pretty good, I thought, in the first round. I don't remember the fight all that much. I did rewatch it, but for some reason it still doesn't stick in my head all that much. But like, I remember Albini was landing some pretty good shots in the first round, while wearing a diaper, or I guess for anybody who didn't watch, I guess he rolled up his shorts. I'm gonna assume. I would pray that Reebok doesn't have a diaper edition shorts running around here somewhere you can buy. But
no, I think they were just really small.
Yeah. So yeah, Albini was a heavyweight rugrat in a tire.
His big ass legs don't help either.
Right. Like, it was really distracting. Like
he literally looks like a giant baby.
I mean, I'm gonna assume Albini's, trying to do the whole marketing thing with the nickname, and he's just trying to tie it into the look. I'm not gonna say I approve, but I guess I get what you're. I guess I understand what you're trying to do, but yeah, man. I mean,
you gotta distract your opponents.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like, as a viewer, that was really distracting. Like, I don't know if Arlovski was just not paying it any attention, but yeah, it was, that fight was kind of hard to watch. It was like, why are you just this huge? I just kept thinking of Tommy Pickles, just like the entire fight. Like, you're just a giant Tommy Pickles who just happens to fight. But I mean, he was landing some pretty good shots in the first. Like, they were throwing some leather, but nobody got like too damaged. But I think towards like the second and the third, Arlovski just kind of won like on volume. Like, Albini just didn't seem to have much of like an offense going on, and Arlovski, I thought, was doing a pretty good job of mixing it up. He was going like body to head, had pretty good footwork. They had some exchanges, and he managed to not, get tagged to the point where like he was, wobbly or too hurt or anything. So I just thought Arlovski just had a smart fight. Like he just did what he needed to do to win and not, get his head knocked off. So, I think they mentioned too, like did he switch camps? I don't know if he like left Jackson, but I think he trained somewhere else for this fight.
Arlovski, I didn't see Jackson in his corner.
Yeah, I think he's training somewhere in Florida. I can't remember where though.
Sorry, the bump.
Nah, yeah, I don't see it. So, I'm not seeing where he's training. So.
This fucking line, are you joking me? We should just go in.
But yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, well, what were your thoughts on the fight?
It's ridiculous.
Good for Andrei Arlovski. Junior, do you guys remember Augusta Sakai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bellator heavyweight. So like when he first got to Bellator, I knew nothing about him, and I watched his first fight. And in the fight, he proceeded. I think it went to distance, but he proceeded to throw like knees, like standing knees, like knees from like the double collar tie. Like his game was very leg kick focused. And I was like really high on him because of it. And that's the vibe I'm getting from Albini, where like we saw him do a thing most heavyweights can't do because they're not versatile enough to do it because they're all just kind of big and tough and want to throw big punches. And I'm starting to wonder if there's just a little bit of that when we're thinking of like Albini's potential. Like he's still only what 26?
26, yeah.
It'll probably end up being fine, but like going back over his record, he was never much of a powerhouse when it comes to like finishing fights. I'm looking at it now, and a lot of his wins seem to have come from some type of submission. So it makes sense to me that Arlovski outstruck him. Like he just beat him in a kickboxing match, and maybe he learned something from this. Maybe like this is just his ceiling. It's way too early to tell. He's only been fighting for he's been fighting for a while, but high level competition. He's still 26, and high level competition is a little different. Yeah, I don't know. There's really just not a whole lot to say. Like, I'm happy Arlovski's no longer on a 5-fight losing streak.
You're right.
Okay, maybe this is just like the type of fight he should just be getting from now on. He shouldn't be fighting anybody in the top 15. Like until he gets like 4 or 5 wins in a row, just give him guys who are the UFC thinks might be ready for the top 15. Like his next fight, I don't know, maybe Curtis Blades.
That would be an interesting match.
Yeah, like somebody like Curtis Blades, somebody like let's see if there's anybody who's 2-0, 3-0. I was gonna say Ruslan Magomedov, but he's gone because he's suspended. Maybe like a Justin Ledette or something like that. Like,
Sorry.
I'll say you riding a chopper, Stoges? Are you switching vehicles over there?
Got the Bluetooth on, fucking on the motorcycle.
and we just got some more breaking news as I look at Twitter or Tumblr.
What's going on?
Patricio Pitbull is out of his fight with Daniel Weichel.
Oh my god.
So,
Sanchez, step up.
I mean, they could do that, but it wouldn't be for the title.
Interim title. First ever Bellator.
They don't. Do they do that?
They did the interim title for King Mo and Emmanuel Newton when their champion wasn't even hurt.
Oh yeah, that was.
Shouts to LeVay.
Oh man, that sucks, man. That sucks.
I said just have Daniel Weichel beat up Noad Lahat. He's on the card anyway, so.
But yeah, solid win for Arlovski.
Learning experience for Albini.
Yeah.
This is bomb.
Stoges, how did you feel about the diaper?
Don't really have much thoughts. I was just kind of mad that this Starbucks line is fucking forever.
Hold on, what happened to Taco Bell?
Oh, Taco Bell's right next door, fam. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're actually about to head right there, right now. What do you guys want?
I'm gonna take a crunch wrap.
Alright. Anti? Anti? I know you want a Mexican pizza.
Nah, I'm good.
Doritos Los Taco.
I got my Oreos.
They need to make like a hot Cheetos like taco shell.
Don't let them hear you. They'll do it.
Tell that to the cashier. Tell her.
They'll do it. Oh man.
You want me to? I'm right here.
Hey, go for it.
do your thing.
All right, let me two black bean burritos, 2 cheesy roll-ups, and one Mexican pizza.
This next fight,
Sorry, what was that?
This is
I
the
don't.
most bizarre podcast.
We got Taco Bell in the background. We got fights going on.
We got a man in a diaper.
Right. Oh man. Actually, real quick, you think that's gonna be his thing now? Is he just gonna be the diaper guy?
I mean, why not? Everybody needs a gimmick.
That is true. That is true. I don't know how many fans he's gonna gain, but you know.
I know.
But yeah, this next fight,
I don't remember it.
it was honestly not a ton to remember. Cesar Ferreira, Nate Marquardt. It was like a violent sparring session. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't say violent because there were spurts of violence. Like I think was at the end of the second where I think Marquardt dropped him.
Oh, it's that same girl that's always.
And that was like the moment of the fight, really. But
Yeah.
it ended in split decision. Cesar won a split decision. I think Cesar won the first round. Marquardt probably won the second. And then in the third round, Cesar was like, forget this, I'm going for takedowns. And he kind of just, controlled position and, just kind of won based off that. So, but yeah, that fight honestly wasn't really much to write home about. And then in the post-fight interview, Cesar calls out old boy who beat up on Hendricks.
Costa.
Yeah, called out Costa. So
I like that fight.
I guess I'm not mad at that.
I mean, because if they give Costa anybody above him in the rankings, he's probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Except maybe like Uriah and Belfort, but they're booked against each other, so.
Yeah. So yeah, why not? Paulo Costa. They're two pretty big dudes who just seem to throw. So. Yeah, I guess that fight, and it seemed to be like some personal, I didn't catch all of what he was saying, but I guess there's some kind of like personal history there. So, we'll see if that happens. As for Nate, I always forget Nate isn't retired until I see his name on a card, and then I wonder why is he still fighting. But it is what it is. This next fight though, Rafael Assunção and Matthew Lopez. Man, it was good to see. I mean, Assunção always looks, really solid, and I think he doesn't get enough props because he's also one of those dudes that, he seems to always fight like top guys. Like, he's always just in the mix of fighting the best of the best, and he doesn't really get any easy go outs. And I think that's a lot of the reason why, a lot of his fights are so close sometimes is that he's always fighting like those top dudes. But yeah, man, he was taking it to Lopez. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like Assunção was he was really going for it. I mean, he definitely went for it because he got a finish, but I don't know, I felt like he was more I guess alert in this fight. I don't know than I feel like I've seen as of recent. He was really out to prove a point, and
well, yeah, the guy he beat, At this point, like he's like 10-1 in his last 11 fights at bantamweight, like, and he still hasn't gotten a title shot, and he's not going to get one anytime in the immediate future. So, I'm happy this win maybe colors him a little differently in some people's eyes. Yeah, no, he's just like he's real. I think he's honestly the most underrated guy in MMA right now.
Like, I'm pretty sure Lopez can't walk this morning.
Yeah, like
Because
he was gone.
he chewed that leg apart. Like, it was like 3 different colors. Like, he was chewing that man's leg just apart. And, like, he was throwing heat, too. Like, it didn't seem like he was just trying to, like, outpoint Lopez. Like, he was going for kill shots. And
Well, the thing with Sunsao is like he hits harder than we think he does, because there's a reason Marlon Moraes and Aljamain Sterling and Brian Caraway and like Pedro Munoz aren't just diving headfirst at him to like he doesn't put on like a very strong pace. And there's a reason why he's able to slow the fight down so much. It's because like his power is enough to keep guys like honest. Like here, he got Lopez in a position at the end of the fight with like the flying knee. You show him the left hand, and then you bomb him with the right hand. Like Lopez was all the way pushed up against the fence, like had no base whatsoever. And so when he just connected, he went out like
yeah.
like he got hit by a truck or something. So.
What was Lopez's last fight?
He beat up Johnny Eduardo, Jose Aldo's first Muay Thai coach or something like that.
Lord. That's a big jump. Like, that's a huge jump in competition.
I think it's pretty clear they want Assunção to lose. So they're just going to keep tossing young guys at him until he loses.
It's not working. It is not. It's not happening, man. Like,
I wanted
Like,
Assunção to win just because I thought it'd be like an easy bounce back fight for Cody, you know?
you try. You think they're gonna feed him to the dogs?
I don't. I think that's a tough fight.
Yeah, I think he could give Cody a run.
Dude, like, who has ever had an easy fight with Assunção?
I guess you're
Yeah,
right.
like he. Yeah,
Well,
I think he gives Cody a run.
Trickier than people give him credit for as a striker.
I just look at him and like, I just see like a dad. I don't know. I just think like anyone can beat him, honestly.
I think it's because he's one of those dudes that like. I'm trying to think of somebody to compare him to. Like, he has a ton of wins. Like, a ton of wins over a really, really good competition. But, like, for some reason, he just doesn't, like, pop out. Like, when you think of top guys, like, for some reason, his name somehow gets lost. Because he just, I don't know. Like, he's not trash talking. He's really, like, unassuming. But, like, you look at his record, I mean, Lopez, Moraes, Sterling. All right, he lost to TJ, but before that, he beat Caraway, Munoz. He beat TJ, Vaughn Lee, Mike Easton, like
Johnny Eduardo.
Yeah, Eduardo. Like, he's beaten a lot of good people, but for like some reason, he somehow still. Oh wow, I didn't know he fought Joe Lozon back in 2006.
Jesus.
And Jorge Masvidal.
He beat Joe Lozon in 2006, man.
What?
Yeah.
He beat Lozon and Masvidal.
Alaska Fighting Championships. Let's go.
Like, he's got a lot of legit wins, like, on his record. And, yeah, like, this was just an emphatic stamp. Like, I mean, and I'm pretty sure Lopez will bounce back. Like, that's a really big leap in competition to go from fighting Eduardo to Assunção. So, like, I don't fault him at all.
I think a large part of that was like Eduardo was like a top 10-ish talent because of what he did to Eddie Wineland. But like with all the young guys they have at bantamweight, like Matt Lopez is about to be 31.
Yeah.
So they're like, if he's going to be anything, he's going to be something now. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. But I think we'll see him back. Like, I don't think he looked like terrible or anything. It's just
Lopez is a solid fighter. Like,
yeah, he's a solid dude. But Sun Sao is just, he's that dude. He's not promoted as that dude, but he's that dude. He's never gonna be an easy out.
imagine if like there was another fighter with like how many ranked wins, like 5 or 6 ranked opponents, including a former world champion on his record, and he didn't get a title shot.
Right. And he did call him out after the fight. He's trying to get that third go with TJ, and yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I'm mad at it. Nobody wants to see that.
I wouldn't mind it. Or if you want to do, I was gonna say if you want to do him and Cody, and whoever wins that gets a shot, I'm not mad at that either.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you now, Stoges, though, if he fights Cody, don't be surprised. Cody could slip up. He could catch an L.
First round, calling it. I'll refer back to this podcast too.
All right. But yeah, man, great win for Sun Sao. Nasty KO. And props on him for pulling back that last punch that he probably could have threw, but he realized he starched him and he didn't need to take any more damage. So, yeah, awesome KO. And shoot, speaking of finishes and KOs, Clay Guida, Joe Lozon. I thought this was gonna be some like wild 3-round barn burner, and it ended in 1 minute and 7 seconds to the first round. I don't remember the fight up until like just that last sequence where Guida throws a hard right hand, clips him like behind the ear. Lozon kind of has like this delayed reaction. He stumbles back. Guida throws a left and then an uppercut that just takes Lozon's soul. And then, I mean, all right, I get it. The referee want to give the guy a chance to, fight back. You don't want to call the fight too early. But my God, man, like Guido was unloading on this man. Like
20 shots too many.
It really that. And like I tried. I don't want to like harp on people. Like I try to give them the benefit of the doubt because Lozon was still like moving, like trying to do something, but like you could tell like he was out of it. And then Guida starts dropping elbows, and it's like we don't need to see this anymore. Like it's the point is driven home. Like he's clearly out of this fight. We can probably just stop this. But yeah, the fight went on probably like Stokes said, 20 punches is too long. But great win from Guida. 1 minute and 7 seconds. It was a pretty nasty finishing sequence with that uppercut. And then he proceeds to pretty much say after during the post fight, I guess this was the last fight on his contract, and UFC need to come up off that money if they want to see him, back in the octagon again. So I don't know. I guess Clay's time at Team Alpha Male has been doing him some good. So
I can't wait for Clay Guida versus Brett Primus. So
you don't think they're bringing back?
I mean, they probably will, but there's also a chance they won't. Who knows? Like, is Clay Guida somebody who still puts butts in seats? Like Norfolk loved him, and I'm curious what the consensus is because the opinion on Guida seems to like swing back and forth between he's really boring and like he's one of the most exciting fighters ever. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if I had to bet on it, I don't know, with the way the UFC's been lately, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him walk and not even blink an eye. Wouldn't be surprised. You think Lozon should hang it up?
Yes.
I feel like we had this conversation the last time he fought. Oh man.
It was
What
hard.
was Lozon?
It was hard
What is
to
that?
watch, honestly.
Like,
Yeah.
he was in complete zombie mode from like the get go. He just looked slow and like it was like watching Big Nog fight at lightweight.
And it's like Lozon's only 33, but like in fight years he's like 85. Like
He's been fighting for 13 years.
yeah, and not only you've been fighting for that long, but like the kind of fights that he has, like these just grueling wars, and like he's also another dude. Like if you look at his record, especially like as of late, within like the last, I don't know, 3-4 years, like all of the majority of the people he's fighting, these are all like top talents. He's not getting like easy go outs or just some, run of the mill, random dude. So yeah, I don't know. I think Father Time might be calling him home.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's had a good career. I think he's tied for the record, right, for most like post-fight bonuses.
I'm not sure
I
if that's
believe.
true anymore.
Is it?
I have no idea.
Because I think he was tied with, was it Nate? I can't remember. He was tied with somebody. Like either way, like the man has put on a lot of good fights. He's earned. He solidified himself. I don't think he really has anything left to really prove. Yeah, for Guida, I don't know though. I think they're gonna let Guida walk. I think you might be right. Guida and Brent Primus might happen in 2018.
Well, just to put out there, like his manager, whatever they're called, his managerial company, VFD, specializes in UFC talent. So I doubt they're like, we're gonna walk across the street to go be in Bellator.
We'll see.
It'll probably take like a small pay cut, or if anything.
Can you guys hear me?
We'll see. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, that finisher sequence was pretty nasty though. So actually, yeah, that rounded out the main card. And we'll get to a few of these prelims, and then we'll switch over to other shenanigans in the MMA world. But Marlon Moraes and John Dotson. Moraes' debut drops a split decision to a Sunsao. Is rewarded with a fight with Dotson, so he gets thrown right back in the fire. I thought he looked pretty good though, man. Like he managed to just not. He had one scary moment. I think that was in the first where like Dotson just not one of those dudes that you want to get happy and willingly exchange with, like back and forth, because it's probably not going to end too good. And I think he got his clock clean that one time during that exchange, and then after that, I thought he had like a pretty smart fight. He working his kicks a ton. But that nut shot though, I have to talk about that.
Oh my God.
That, whew. Like when Dotson was about to throw up, I almost threw up. Like that was that was one, oh my God. Like for people who just didn't see it, like Moraes threw up. I think he was trying to do like an inside leg kick, and he catches Dotson low. And like immediately, man, Dotson's he just looks like he's dying, and then like he stands up and literally like he does the throw up motion, and it's like, oh my God, like I it's like they're gonna stop this. Like this dude's about to just puke everywhere, but he got back into the fight.
Then like a minute later, got eye poked.
Right. Yeah. He got eye poked. I think at one point they had a head clash. Like there were a lot of just little weird incident moments in this fight, but like those moments aside, man, I thought Moraes looked pretty. He looked pretty good. Like he was countering pretty good. He was definitely working his kicks in. I think Dotson just, I don't know. Like it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of like volume. Like he would have those moments where like he does that like that double jab to like get in quick and then just like explode on you. And he had like a few of those moments, but I don't know. Like other than that, I just feel like he didn't really have enough offense. And Moraes just seemed to be keeping busier. And Moraes, I think he caught him with a few good overhand rights. Nobody. He didn't. I don't think he ever wobbled Dotson, but
but he was landing hard.
yeah, like he was definitely landing hard. And like, yeah, he's a big 135er, man. Like that dude is shredded at 135.
Did we talk about the finish where Dotson taps after the bell?
Oh man. So and that was another thing I saw people going back and forth about, because people were like, well, no, he wasn't tapping. He was just doing that because the round was over. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think.
No, he tapped.
Yeah, I think he might have tapped. Like that guillotine was in pretty tight, and yeah, and I mean, yeah, that might have been a tap. It was a quick moment. Like I feel like if you weren't looking, you might have missed it, but yeah, that looked like a tap to me. But either way, Moraes once again on the side of a split decision, but he ends up on the good side this time. Proceeds to call out Jimmy Rivera, which I'm all about that fight if they want to make that.
Well, everybody in the arena boos him.
Right.
Which is I don't really get. I guess they saw Moraes as like a freaking dirty fighter, but honestly, I think it was just like this is kind of what happens when you got a guy who throws a lot of leg kicks going up against a guy who is like half a foot
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, those moments just kind of happen. And I mean, it's not like it was a bad fight. Like he put on a really good performance against the top dude. So yeah, I don't know what the crowd was really expecting of him, but I'm happy.
Also, the scorecards. 230.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 230-27s for Mr. Moraes, and a 30-27 for Dotson.
What's the guy on Twitter? God, because he posted that. He tweeted that right as the third round ended, and yeah, and they did it. 30-27s. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what fight everybody was watching, but apparently everybody saw something different. Maybe they, I don't know. Maybe the nut shot swayed somebody, and I don't know. But what did you guys think of the fight?
I enjoyed it. I thought they both looked good, but like just the same things that played Dotson. Like I want to say early in his career, early in his like UFC like top flyweight career, plagued him here. Like there wasn't much else to his game other than like basically he just didn't put up pace enough. Like Moraes was the dude throwing the volume. He was the dude landing like leg kicks and punches, and it was more diverse, and it just looked better, especially in the second and third, than Dotson sometimes landing a counter. I'm just curious if this is just going to be Moraes' like career from now, where he's just winning like split decisions or losing split decisions. Because the talent is there, but like we've said, like the last time he fought, like the experience isn't.
And I'm about to say the split decision road is not one you want to go down.
Yeah.
It might work a little bit, but eventually somehow those fights just stop working in your favor. And yeah.
Who does Marlon go after this though?
I mean, he called out Rivera. He seemed pretty like adamant about that fight.
Well,
but
let's be
him, Sterling, and what was the other dude's name? Oh, Lineker, duh. They all called out Jimmy, so
I wouldn't mind seeing Lineker and Moraes. I think that would be
that'd be solid.
yeah, that'd be a nice violent fight.
Thomas Almeida got booked today, and if he wins that fight, I'd love to see that fight.
Against who?
Rob Font.
Oh.
What about I think I saw somebody else throw out Munoz.
I mean, you really can't go wrong at bantamweight anymore. Like there's just so much talent now. So
Is 135 low key like the second most stacked division?
it's starting to look like it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could argue because I think I mean lightweight's still holding that torch. 40, I don't know, 45 and 35 are kind of, but I don't know. Hold on, let me pull this up. I don't know. I think you might.
It might be.
You might be able to make that argument. Because, I mean, they're both really top heavy. But even if you go to, like, the lower end of, like, the top 15, even if you go, like, outside of the top 15, yeah, you could probably make that argument. Yeah, like, low-key, this is, at worst, the third most stacked division. if you were to put featherweight, like, at worst. But, yeah, like, this is kind of like lightweight, where if you find yourself in the top 15, from 15 to 1, none of these, there are no easy outs. Like, everybody's going to give you a problem. And even breaking into the top 15 is still going to be a problem. So, yeah. Shout outs to the little divisions. Like, I don't understand how this division isn't, like, more popular. Or like these guys, or maybe they don't. I don't know. Like I feel like they don't get as much.
Most MMA fans are wrestling fans, or got here through wrestling, so they really subscribe to the whole notion of like biggest and baddest.
No one watches the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like no one watches the lower weight.
Then again, like nobody watches any division that isn't the Conor division anymore. So,
so Mariah, you got to fight Conor next if you want some
the
notoriety.
The Conor division spans like 4 different weight classes. 145 to 185.
Right, he infected 185 and he hasn't even fought there yet. he's already planting seeds.
GFP in July.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh man.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Conor to step on the scale like 172 pounds, like weighing his tailored "fuck you" suit.
Doesn't he have to be like 176 or something to make 185?
I don't know.
I always thought like it was like they had to be like 176 to like 1 fucking 86, whatever.
Let's see.
We can't put this out in the air. We can't let them hear this. They'll make this happen.
Nah, it's 171 to 186.
Oh Lord. Oh no. Oh man.
I like to point out Conor, the heaviest we've ever seen Conor weigh is like 167.
He'll just throw in some extra fat just for the sake of it.
There's just,
oh man.
We've seen them on the steaks. We've seen them on the steaks. We're gonna see them on the ice cream now.
All right.
Tiramisu.
Oh man. For the sake of time, because we got other shenanigans to get through, I guess real quick we'll just kind of blaze through these last few so we can get to some other nonsense going on in the world. But Tatiana Suarez and Viviane Pereira, fight was just pretty much a one-sided grappling fest in favor of Suarez, who just beat the crap out of Pereira. Sage Northcutt, who I'm going to refer to from now on as Young Gohan, got a decision over Michael Quinones. He looked really good. As a side note, whatever he's doing at Team Alpha Male, I'm going to assume it's working. He looked patient. He didn't come out and just throw 80,000 punches and hope that he won. So yeah, really like what I saw from him.
I really think Faber's like the best guy for Sage. Because that's basically going to be his style eventually.
Well, hopefully he just... Never mind. I don't want to jinx Sage, so I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to say, whatever they're doing down there, keep doing it. It's definitely working. Like, he looked worlds better than what I've seen him previously. Like, he looked a lot better, a lot sharper. So
just get his dad out the corner, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be. Oh man, real quick, I had to bring this up. I saw a picture of him and Woodley, and I don't know if Woodley was like, I guess he was teaching him how to cook or just showing him how he cooks.
Yes.
And they were he was like, you're seasoning both sides of the chicken? Oh man, Sage.
God.
Oh, you gotta love this kid. So we're watching him grow up and just learn about the world. Oh man.
White people.
What is that?
Shout out to white people who don't season their food.
Shout out
Oh,
to Katy, Texas, where apparently there are just no minorities.
Oh man, that was I saw that picture, I lost it. But nonetheless, he did look really good in that fight though. So I'm looking forward to whatever
His
wherever he
name
goes
is
next.
Sage.
Oh man.
Shout out to Katy, Texas, where they only season one side of the chicken.
Jesus Christ. Going down the list, Nina Aznaroff got a decision over Angela Hill. I still love Angela Hill. I wanted her to pull this one out so bad, but just didn't happen. Sean Strickland got a decision over Court McGee.
That was
Jake Collier.
it was just some, I guess, funny business. The Court McGee Sean Strickland fight was originally ruled a draw, but apparently Virginia can't count. So like 3 minutes after both guys leave the ring or the cage, like as I think Collier and Fortuna are as Ansaroff and Hill are like walking out, they just bring up the fact that somebody counted wrong. Strickland won the fight.
Wow. Boy, Virginia don't become the new New York, where just shenanigans happen every time. But Jake Collier got a decision over, what is this, Marcel Fortuna?
Yep.
I think this was the one fight I didn't really watch, so I can't really say how that fight really went. And last fight was Carl Roberson and Darren the Dennis Stewart. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Roberson won by a rear naked choke. He had a really good slam in that fight too, like a nice little like reversal throw that I saw that I guess ended up leading to him getting the choke. But yeah, this is a pretty solid card. It ran way too long. I feel like by the time the main event was over, it was like 1:30, somewhere around there. But other than that, though, it was a pretty solid card. Like minus the Marquardt and Cesar fight, like every other fight was pretty solid, and then we got some nasty KOs and TKOs in between. So, yeah, man, good fight, good event. Really interested to see though what they do with Poirier, but we got other shenanigans to talk about.
Right.
So real quick, God, what Bellator event was this? Bellator 187. So this was supposed to have been AJ McKee and James Gallagher, but
no, it was going to be AJ McKee I think it was originally AJ McKee versus Brian Moore as the co-main event. And what they were going to do is have Gallagher and Jeremiah Labiano as the main event.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Jeremiah Labiano is now the main event of Bellator 188 because of Patricio pulling out. He's going to fight Noah Lahat in the main event.
Wow.
So he's getting his main event no matter what. But so this card was literally built around James Gallagher fighting in Dublin in front of his hometown crowd, and then he pulled out a month ahead of time. So this is MMA teaching us once again: do not build a card around one person.
They tried. Well, in the end, I only saw 2 fights on this card. I watched the Baby Slice fight, which I think ended by rear naked choke.
Yes.
Yeah. And main event, AJ McKee and Brian Moore. This was actually a really good main event. I think this was a good learning fight for McKee, where this probably the first fight I've seen where he really, really got tested. He came out really good in the first, really explosive, really fast. He definitely slowed down a lot in the second, and Moore was, getting his moments off. Moore was really taking it to him. He made McKee work. he definitely made him work for the win. But McKee pulled it out in the third. I don't know if him and the Gallagher fight will end up happening, but solid fight for McKee. A good learning experience. A good gutsy win where he had to overcome some hardships. But the moment that stole this night over every other fight, the fight that wasn't a fight. Hold on. So what fight did this happen during? Because I didn't even.
The Charlie Ward, John Redmond fight.
Okay.
And shouts to Bellator's PR team, who immediately took down the fan footage of this thing so that they could air the footage on Spike, because this card was on tape delay because it was in Ireland.
Genius.
So that's an extra 100 to 150,000 people tuning in onto Spike to see this madness.
Yeah. Oh man. So
was that fight even on the main card?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
It was not a good card. It was a very bad card. The best fighter on the card was Paul Redmond, and he was on the prelims, fighting a man who was 4-6.
Don't disrespect AJ McKee like that. Hashtag
I like AJ.
I like AJ too, but Brian Moore is now his best win. So
yeah, we all got to start somewhere. we all got to start.
Learning experience? Do you think that was a good learning experience, or was that more of a concern?
It's learning. He's 22.
Yeah, I think he definitely needed that. Those are the kind of fights that you just need, so hey, I'm not untouchable. That 10-0 could have easily been a 9-1 if he wasn't on his P's and Q's. So, I think he'll definitely. I hope he learned from that, because if you end up fighting guys, and that they're upper, echelon of their 145, that performance against any of them might have gotten you. You might have not came out on the good side.
Yeah, and the dudes Brian Moore has lost to are Marat Pekov, Daniel Weichel, what was the other dude? Mike Wilkinson. These are guys who got on to be in the UFC or have solid regional careers. So Moore is a solid opponent for someone at McKee's level.
Yeah. I'll let one of you guys take off this shenanigan that happened.
All right.
And I'll just.
Stoges, would you like to set this up, or or should I set up and you should go? You can run with it.
You can set it up because I'm eating this Mexican pizza right now.
All right. So, Many of you probably remember Charlie Ward as a dude who got thrown on his face in the UFC and got knocked out because of it. He is the teammate of one Conor McGregor, and he was fighting on the main card for Bellator 187 against a man named John Redmond. With at 4 minutes and 59 seconds into the first round, John Goddard steps in to. I'm not. We weren't 100% sure if he was stopping the fight or if he was stopping because the round was up. But point being, Conor McGregor, thinking the fight's over, hops into the cage to go celebrate with his teammate. Conor is not there licensed as a referee. He's not a licensed official. He is not a cornerman. He's not supposed to be in the cage. John Goddard tells him as such, kind of puts his hands on him and is like, you have to get out. We're still trying. We're trying to like help poor John Redmond, who's over here like.
I was gonna say, and to put it into context, Redmond lost by KO. Yeah, so while all of this is happening, he's knocked out. Yeah,
he is in a daze, staring off into the lights, and Conor takes issue with this, chases Goddard all the way across the cage as he's trying to help Redmond. Gets in his face and starts screaming, shoves him, slaps Bellator official Mike Johnson before being escorted out of the cage by his team.
And poor Redmond, who like after he pushed Goddard, like they're all hovered right over Redmond. So Redmond's on the ground like half conscious, trying to just move and get himself together. And this huge group of people are just hovering over him, and it's just chaos. And he can't get help because Conor's just in here just causing just straight shenanigans. And, oh boy, I don't know where to start.
We can start with the fact this fight was overlooked by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. And that means Mike Mazzulli the director of the organization was in charge of the card, and he's already come out and said that it was an assault.
It should be.
Yeah. He came out saying it was an assault. It's also worth noting that he is the president of the ABC, the Athletic Boxing Commission, which, pretty important. They had the athletic commissions for like most of North America. I know there was a little there was schism in the organization last year because of some rule changes, which is why the UFC event this week was not like held under the new unified rules or whatever. But he came out very much against Conor McGregor, and he said he's been in contact with the UFC brass to let them know that there needs to be something done.
The first thing I did actually, because my friend had called me yesterday and we were talking about this, and we were like, well, is Dana or the UFC at all gonna punish him? So I said, I'm gonna just go look at Dana's Twitter real quick, out of the blue, no mentions of it. Like if you look at Dana's timeline, is him promoting the card that we just went over, and then before that is talking about the GSP fight. Like there's no mention, there's no quote, there's no nothing. Like it never happened. Like this was just a figment of our imagination, and I don't know. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
I hope Goddard sues him. Goddard and Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson definitely got to sue him.
Yeah, they both need to sue him. Some commission has to step in and actually do something because the UFC isn't going to do shit.
I don't know if the commission has any legal recourse because
that's the biggest problem.
Like McGregor was there as a fan, so theoretically speaking, he could have been arrested.
Oh, yeah. And the fucking. Allegedly he got arrested, but I guess they debunked that.
Yeah,
they came out and said it wasn't true.
his handler said that he was fine. So, before we go any deeper into this, I need you to edit in white lines before the segment starts. Because there's no way in hell Conor wasn't on like coke.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Like when I rewatched the replay, I was like, "There's no way this dude's just strung out on something." Like nobody in a sober state of mind is gonna like. I mean, I get it. Your teammate just won. You're excited, but like it was so over the top. Like it was all. It was almost like WWE-ish. Like, just like, what are you doing? And it's just like, you have to do something to him. You have to do something. I don't know if you fine him or suspend. I don't know what you do, but you gotta. The hammer has to come down at some point. Because if you let him do this and there's no punishment, or if he just gets a small like slap on the wrist. Like, you're basically telling the world this man can do anything he wants and we're just going to let him. Because he's Conor and he makes his money. And it's just like, you can't let this fly.
I mean,
like,
if this is like the second time in the month we have to discuss Conor McGregor in a context outside of him being a fighter.
right.
Because he went out and did something stupid on camera.
He fights everybody who's not at 155, apparently. He will fight you if you're a ref. If you're a commissioner or a spokesman, you might get slapped. But if you're at 155, I don't know. He's not he's not slapping anybody over there. Or I don't know if. Well, I'm not saying I don't know. I know for a fact they're not going to strip him. He's not losing his belt. I don't see that happening.
It would be hilarious if they did.
It would be. It would. And I mean, like at this point, it's just kind of deserved. Like now you're just out here. You're bugging, man. Like you're completely bugging. But I guess, all right. Let's say they don't. Maybe they don't strip him. Like what would you think of like a fitting punishment would be if they. Assuming they don't strip him, but they, some other form of punishment other than that.
They make him fight Tony Ferguson.
That's it. I'm off. There we go. I think that settles that. Yeah, like
when you get let's put this in. Conor basically rewrote the rules of what the UFC will let you get away with. When he was like, no, I'm not going to defend my newly won title. I'm going to go box Floyd Mayweather, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Yeah, we're really about to find out if he's like. I think one of the guys had said it in the reports I read about. You can't have him being bigger. Yeah, like you can't have him being untouchable, or have him, quote unquote, being bigger than the sport. So I don't know. I think we're about to find out. And just other context for this. If anybody remembers way back when, Roy Nelson and was it Jason High? Jason High got cut, I think, because of the incident.
Hold on. Should we read the actual
Yeah.
So,
if you have it.
If I can find it really quick, go up, but continue, please.
Yeah, so in short, I guess until you find the exact quote, Jason High was cut like immediately for his incident that he had with a ref. And to paraphrase the quote, because I don't have it like exactly in front of me, but like Dana pretty much said, like he didn't even see it like in real time when it happened. He just heard about it, and even just by hearsay, he cut him. Like it was no question. Like you touched the ref, you're out. Like you're just out. Like there's no question. Like that's something you just don't do. And it was kind of the same with Roy Nelson. It's like you can't have altercations with a ref. Like there's never an excuse for it. Like he really just. I think the quote what he said with Roy Nelson, he was like Roy Nelson should be buried or something like that for for touching the ref.
I have the
And-
quote right here in front of me. I heard.
All
I
right.
didn't even see it. That he put his hands on the referee. Done. You touch the referee. Done. Over. I mean, there's no wiggle room there.
Right. None at all. Like, you touch the referee, you're out. And so far, we're a day removed from this, and I haven't heard really Dana say a peep. And I know somebody is out there gonna say, well, it wasn't in the UFC, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody has that line of logic, but it's like, you can't have your guy out there like going to other promotions, like inciting riots basically. And there's another point to drive home. Like, luckily Redmond wasn't like seriously hurt, because like you'd imagine if that was like a really serious knockout and you have that kind of chaos going on and this guy needs help, but there's so much going on around him, and we forget that this poor guy is out on the floor like half conscious, and it's just like, it's mind blowing. It's really mind blowing.
I mean, just to also put this, Dana brought Gilbert Yvel back, and this dude literally just punched the referee in the face.
Oh,
I feel like we can
I
see
did
it right now. We're all just outraged, whatever the punishment is.
Oh, say that one more time.
I can see it now where we're all just gonna be outraged where they decide the punishment.
I'm gonna. I don't know. If you're the UFC, like,
at me, I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like,
Like, normally the punishment would be being cut from the UFC, but if you cut Conor, that's not really a punishment, because I'm sure there's a TV network out there that will give him $15 million to go fight on their
Right.
TV like twice a year. So, or Bellator picks him up and they start running pay-per-views more often.
That's for me. Like, I just show me that you're trying to like steer the ship. Like, because at this point I've just heard nothing, which tells me
You know what the
that
fucked up part is? I know, like, the most angriest thing that Dan's gonna feel from this is that, like, Conor, why were you at a Bellator show? Like,
Right.
why at a Bellator show?
Oh man, you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking Bellator should pull a wrestling move and send somebody from Bellator to a UFC event. bring the tank down the stage. Just declare war.
Who would be the perfect Bellator fighter to do that? To start the Monday Night Wars.
Rickles.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
He comes
I
out
can see
and
that.
it's like,
Yeah.
Caveman outfit with the fucking 8-foot long bone in his hand.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Rickles, if you're out there, man, you're the guy. You gotta send the first shot. Well, technically they sent the first shot, but you gotta return fire.
The Stone Cold theme music comes on.
Right.
Oh my god, that's Dave Rickles music.
Hey man, maybe this will somehow lead to a crossover promotion event. This will be
He's got a chair.
This will be the catalyst. But I
I
don't know, like,
I feel like we haven't got, like, we kind of glossed over, like, complete dick move by Conor.
it is like, it's such a,
Fuck Conor.
and it's like, if it would have ended like, let's say like he just would have came in with a hug and they just would have rushed him out, and I'm like, all right, you're still doing too much, but all right, whatever. They shooed you out of there. It's over. But it just,
I completely forgot. This is an ongoing thing with Mark Goddard. Because
oh yeah,
during the Artem Lobov fight against Andre Fili, Mark Goddard has to tell Conor to go back to his seat because Conor's being too much of a distraction. So this has been building.
Other side note, I didn't know how Goddard has fought like 6 or 7 times or something. Didn't know that.
Huh, I didn't either.
Yeah, he has an MMA record. If I can hurry up and find it. I can't remember what like his win-loss like percentage is, but yeah, he's fought before. So I don't know if we got to do Goddard, Conor, you know.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, Goddard,
Paulie.
7-6.
Oh, okay.
That's respectable.
7-6. His last fight was a draw, and that was in 2008.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, Goddard, Conor.
Someone find the Mark Goddard fight on YouTube, please.
I mean, I'm sure they're up there.
Yeah, they got to be up there. If Herb Dean fights are on YouTube, then Goddard's got to be somewhere floating around here.
But oh wait, crap. There was one other thing about this whole mess that I found interesting, and it's escaping me at this moment.
Someone should slice up a Conor Goddard promo. That'd be dope.
Oh man, that's the open weight fight we've all been waiting for. Oh man, but I don't know this whole situation. I just want to. I don't know what punishment they will do, like, cause the UFC has just taught me that, I don't know, like I feel like they're not gonna do much of anything, but on the other token, it's like you have to do something. You can't let this go unchecked. If you let this go unchecked, you are just opening some floodgates that you're not ready for.
Yep.
But I don't know. If like if like Tuesday and Wednesday rolls around and Dana hasn't rolled out a quote, or somebody in the UFC brass hasn't said something, then I don't know. They might just sweep this under the rug like it just wasn't a thing.
They don't want to give Bellator any promo at all.
Right. But yeah, you gotta lay down some kind of punishment, whether it be a fine or some kind of suspension. I mean, strip of the title. I already know that's not happening, but
I mean, Verdun was forced to go work with the LGBT community. Like, McGregor should have to be forced to go work with like referees, like destitute referees who are like out there.
Oh man, they'll send them the Big John's referee camp.
No, just like the dudes on the corner just holding signs like "We'll refer food." Like,
God. Injured and retired referee.
Right. Oh man. But yeah, that whole situation is straight shenanigans. It's just straight shenanigans. Just UFC, you got to do something, man. I don't know what you got to bring down in specific, but you have to do something. Don't let this go unchecked. It's not a good look. Speaking of, I guess, not a good look. I don't even want to talk about this, but I have to. My man, my homie, Michael Bisping, who I've advocated for on this show many times, many times, and who I get in screaming matches about with my friends many times, defending this man. This man is what, a week removed from the GSP fight, where he got handled. He got beat up. He got choked out. Superman punched. All that good stuff. He's jumping right back into the octagon.
And right back against another blowing up welterweight.
But yeah, another blown up welterweight, but one who happens to hit incredibly hard. Yeah, Michael Bisping stepping in for Anderson Silva, which is another side note, who was popped for a potential anti-doping violation on Friday. Yeah, that happened too. But Bisping is stepping in. This fight is taking place, November? What is it, like 20? I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
5th?
The point, yeah, 25th. Point being,
That's my birthday.
like, oh, so you get to watch a slaughter.
I'm not watching any UFC that day. Hey,
Like,
watch that.
Fair enough. It starts at 7 in the morning, so.
Yeah.
I might do it then.
Oh, it'll be 4
And
for you. God.
Ooh, yeah. Don't do that to yourself. Yeah, don't do that. But don't get me wrong, man. I love Bisping to death, but this fight, bro, you shouldn't do this. Like, this isn't a good idea.
If this fight was in America, there's no way it gets sanctioned.
Right, like, dude, you just, and I can't remember who showed me this. I guess Brunson wanted to fight Bisping.
Yes.
And they told Brunson no because Bisping was on medical suspension.
But they told him he was injured. Like, medical suspensions are easy to get out of. Like, you just go to one of the, like, pre-assigned, like, UFC doctors, and they'll be like, hey, he's good to go. But they said he was hurt.
And a day later, this happened. So, Gastelum's about to just leapfrog these rankings because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a win. Don't get me wrong, I love Bisping to death, but I don't know if I feel comfortable picking him winning this fight.
This thing is,
Gastelum,
he might not make it out the first round.
yeah, he could get swept. This could be a violent first round finish.
I mean, I think that's like the best case scenario, because the other case is like Bisping's too tough for his own good, and he just gets the crap beat out of him.
Yeah,
for
5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bisping, you the homie, but best of luck in that fight. I'm rooting for you, but
I'm not.
I don't know, man. It's not a good look. I can't defend this one. So to all my friends that are listening, I've argued back on every other Bisping fight. I don't got nothing for this one. I have no ammo for this one. Like,
since it's in China, is the UFC like doing the sanctions and stuff, or like who's in charge?
God, the UFC's not in charge. I think they have like an outside commission come in. It might be the ABC. I'm not sure.
Well, shame on whoever made this fight happen. You guys are not good people. I guess real quick, the Anderson Silva popping for potential double violation. To be honest, I saw the headline and I just kind of shrugged.
I'm surprised it took this long.
I just shrugged and just moved along with my day. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to care about it at this point. Like, it's 5-6 years ago, yeah, I would have cared, but as of now, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. He's like 40-some years old. He's earned the right to use some drugs. I don't care. I don't. I don't really feel any kind of way about it. And it might have saved him from a mollywop, and he could have caught from Gastelum. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is MMA and
Stoges, you gonna pick again? You gonna pick Bisping?
Remember back in the without time.
say again.
I'm gonna say 5th round. Okay, so the first 4 rounds, Kelvin kicks his ass, and Bisping comes out of nowhere with a 5th round knockout.
Oh man.
Fucking believe it.
You are very optimistic.
And then he retires and goes down as the GOAT.
I mean, the one thing I can say for Bisping, cardio is always there, and he is just one of those dudes that can hang around in fights because he's just too tough for his own good. I don't know if he pulls out the win, awesome. But I'm not holding my breath on this one. Every time Gastelum throws, my heart is gonna stop because I'm just envisioning a KO. But we still got other shenanigans. What else? What else went on? Still got you.
So Frankie Edgar is out of his UFC 218 main event fight with Max Holloway for the featherweight title. Jose Aldo is officially confirmed to be his next opponent for Holloway, so he'll be replacing Edgar. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I have no complaints. I was going back and forth between him and Cub, but I mean I know Aldo lost, but I think people forget like Aldo was winning a good portion of that fight. Like it's not like Aldo got blown out.
Yeah.
Like it was a competitive fight up until, Max Holloway he goes Super Saiyan at some point and there's just really nothing you can do. But yeah, I'm not mad at all at this rematch. I'm hoping Jose in this rematch remembers his leg kicks. I think that will make this fight a lot more interesting if he can get some of those off, because I felt like he didn't really use those much at all in the first fight. So yeah, I'm interested for this rematch. Anybody see Aldo getting the belt back, or we think and still?
And still.
I think logic says Holloway, but I'm gonna go Aldo. I think it's been a weird year, and more weird shit's gonna continue to happen.
When is this fight again?
December 2nd?
Oh, okay. Yeah, logic. Oh boy, the fan in me is gonna come out. Logic tells me Holloway wins, but I'm gonna believe in Aldo and say he learned from that first fight. It's definitely still gonna be a tough fight. He's definitely gonna have to work for it. But I'm gonna say Aldo. But if he gets TKO'd again, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna say Aldo.
Yeah. 2-1.
What other fights got announced? I know there was some other fights that are going on.
Well, some got announced and some got canceled. We hinted it earlier. Dominic Cruz is out of his fight at UFC 219 with Rivera with a broken arm. So Cruz's glass, legs have now transferred to his body, to the rest of his body. So sad. That is sad because that's one of the fights I was most looking forward to. Aljamain Sterling, John Lineker, Marlon Moraes have all been vocal about wanting to replace him against Rivera, but Rivera seems reluctant. He really wants the title fight, but it looks like it's going to go to Demetrius Johnson. Either TJ's moving up or Mighty Mouse is moving up. TJ's moving down or Mighty Mouse is moving up. We don't really know yet. So, but that looks like the next fight for TJ. So Rivera's stuck in no man's land. He's going to have to fight somebody if he's going to want to stay in title contention. Another fight that was canceled that was really never made. Chris Cyborg versus Holly Holm is not happening at UFC 219. That card still needs a headliner.
Like in 1 month out.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good.
So I don't know. They said they couldn't get the fight done over financial issues. Cyborg hinted that the UFC wanted her to take a pay cut. Her manager said no. Whoever's running Cyborg's Twitter account for her is doing a terrible, terrible job.
So Cyborg, was she supposed to headline?
I don't think so. I think they want. Well, the rumor was it was supposed to be Tate Ronda 3. That was like summertime. They were trying to put that together, but it didn't come together. Ronda's now doing WWE stuff. She's at the training center in Orlando with them. Then they tried to get the Jones Stipe fight to happen, and then Jones popped. Like they couldn't get DC to fight Uzdemir before 2017 was up. But now it's looking like they're Tyrone Woodley's hinting that he might fight before the year is up, and the only date that's open is 2/19. So I'm assuming they're trying to get Woodley to fight somebody, and it's probably going to be Till.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I thought Till was fighting.
That was one of the fights that was brought up. They said they were targeting for February, but Wonder Boy's dad was like, no. So Wonder Boy's still Wonder Boy.
And it sucks because like this is a really good card. Like there are a lot of good fights on this card. So you want a dope headliner.
Yeah.
But yeah, a month out and no headliner. That's a rough.
And
Yeah.
if Woodley does take it, shouts to him because the torn labrum, he's coming back off of that, and he's only gonna have 6 weeks to prepare for this.
Yeah.
So if that does end up happening, big props to him.
And because that's the card that ends the year out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go out on a good,
For the last few years, that's been the UFC's biggest card, or at least one of their big ones. Like last year, Ronda came back. You want to close out on a strong note, but nobody seems to be free. How many titles are booked right now? None of them.
It's crazy.
Somebody's got to heed the call. Somebody's got to flash the bat symbol, and
Yeah. Yeah. Let's close out. Oh, go ahead.
This thing is gonna knock out Gastelum. Then him and Woodley are gonna fight at a catchweight at the end of year event.
Oh man, I would die if Bisping knocked out Gastelum. I would die. I would just die. Oh, hold on, real quick though, because we are closing in on the time. But if we mention one more thing, we got to talk about this Bellator heavyweight tournament.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh boy. Do you have it in front of you? I just thought of it. I don't have it pulled up.
I got it. So Bellator re-signed Rampage Jackson earlier this week, and then it drops Friday that they're putting together a heavyweight tournament. Quotation marks around heavyweight. Because Rampage Jackson's a part of it. Fedor Emelianenko, Frank Mir, Matt Mitrione, Roy Nelson, Chael Sonnen, King Mo, and current Bellator light heavyweight champion Ryan Bader. It's going to be a year-long tournament, and it's rumored that it's going to end in December. And it sounds like Bellator wants to put on Frank Mir for his Fedor in the first round. And that makes all the sense in the world because there's no way they're both going to make it to the finals.
You know what's crazy about this is I had read an article probably a week or two ago. I can't remember from where Coker had pretty much admitted
John Tyson's motto was, when better chickens are hatched.
Popped up and killed me. But where they were talking about how he's pretty aware that Bellator's heavyweight division is just kind of in shambles. It's just kind of nobody really knows what's going on. And at the end of the article, he's but we have a plan. We got something we're working on, and this was it. This was the grand. This was the grand plan. This was.
I love.
Oh man.
This was hinted back in the summertime. I remember.
They've been working on this for a year.
Yeah,
This is the most Bellator thing I've seen.
They were hinting at it. I remember Mitrione was bitching on Twitter about wanting a fight or something, and I was like, dude, just wait. They're gonna do the heavyweight tournament, and then 3 months later, they finally announced it.
What are the chances? Because I don't know why I have this feeling. One of the light heavyweights is gonna win this tournament.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be King Mo or Bader.
Nah, Chael's gonna.
Who do they give Chael so that he actually makes out the first round?
Let's see.
I hate to say it, but his best chance of winning is probably Fedor.
Chael is gonna take out Rampage first round.
Oh, right.
That could happen.
No, I can see that happening.
Exactly.
That could happen.
Exactly.
So,
Oh boy.
He's gonna
yeah.
take out Rampage. Then he's gonna take out Fedor second round. And then he'll take out fucking Bader in the final.
like, how do you think Phil Davis feels now that he's not going to fight for the title?
Honestly, unless like Bader like loses early, and then they can book him for that. Like, yeah.
Like, the only person in this tournament I can't see Bader beating is like Matt Mitrione. It's not like because that's just because like Mitrione's still like a competent heavyweight. Like, Nelson's not fast enough. Fedor, Page, and God, yeah, like,
All right, we gotta make this official. We gotta lock in picks.
Why isn't Czech Congo in this? Where's he?
because King Mo beat him.
No,
No, there's no Czech Congo. There's no Karatanov. No Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley should
Bobby
be in this
Lashley.
Yeah, he should have been in this.
Fedor versus Bobby Lashley. That's a pay-per-view right there.
That's main event status.
Yeah, that is a Bellator million buy, million view. Oh man.
But
we got to lock in picks though. We got to lock in picks.
I don't know if I would take the joking route or take a serious pick. I'm
going King Mo.
Damn.
King Mo is now in Bellator terms. He's a veteran heavyweight. I'm going King Mo. King Mo is.
What? Didn't he win like a? No, he lost in the Risen. Never mind.
he lost to Crow Cop.
Yeah. Never mind.
So if King Mo wins, does that mean Ryzen officially has a better heavyweight division than Bellator?
Oh.
Yeah. The way the way heavyweight is in 2017.
Oh, side news: Crow Cop is back from retirement, surprising nobody.
Yeah.
He's going to be fighting at the NYE event for Ryzen, and Ryzen's apparently having a heavyweight Grand Prix next year also, and the winner of that's going to fight Crow Cop at the next NYE. So there you go. But as for my pick, my pick's going to be Bader. So.
Okay. My pick is going to be whoever ends up being an alternate.
That's actually not a bet.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoever ends up being the Daniel Cormier of this heavyweight tournament.
It's going to be Gegard Mousasi.
Oh man. A new challenger appears.
Oh, I forgot. Roy McDonald said he'd be an alternate if somebody got hurt.
Oh
Lord.
God.
Roy comes in and tools everybody.
Oh my God.
Oh man. But yeah, so next year is gonna be fun. It's gonna be. Oh man, we got the Bellator tournament. We got the alleged PFL. Whatever they're gonna do, that may or may not happen.
They're gonna be just burning money.
The money laundering scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some will happen. Some will happen with them.
It's literally just gonna be like Ray Sefo coming out to the cage and just like dousing millions of dollars with like lighter fluid and burning it.
Oh man. But yeah, so Bellator is just doing really Bellator things. Yeah, I don't really know how else to put it. That's the most Bellator idea. Right. If one of those fights is in a movie theater, I'm in there. I'm watching.
Jordan Rebney is very angry right now.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah.
He's down in Mexico drinking a Corona, and he just sees it on his phone pop up.
No, he's at the MMAAA headquarters. just like steaming
Oh,
around
yeah, that's it.
and like slapping whoever's left in that organization.
Oh man.
So he's just
yeah,
at home.
it's so many just shenanigans. I don't even think we covered everything. I think there was still more.
We're missing something.
We can breeze through a couple of these. UFC 220 gets 2 fights. Shane Burgos is going to fight Calvin Kattar, and Thomas Almeida is going to fight Rob Font. UFC 221 gets 2 fights as well. Ben Nguyen is going to fight Jussier Formiga, and Tyson Pedro is going to fight Sapar Bek Serapov, who I believe is the dude who had that crazy fight with Gian Vellante last year, I think it was. Earlier this year or something. I can't even remember. Everything's all melting together into one giant long MMA watch session. And at UFC Austin on February 18th, we're going to get Ray Borg versus Brandon Moreno.
That's a nice fight.
That's a good fight.
Yeah.
That's a nice fight.
And I think that's it for fight announcements, but we got like 2 other bits of news. Angelique's out for title defense later this month because of a car crash. She apparently fell asleep at the wheel. Her car flipped like 4 or 5 times. And she walked away fine, but she had a concussion and like a few scrapes, and like obviously she's probably in no condition to fight. And then Dana White announced that he's looking to get into boxing.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
And my thought was he's going to buy the PBC.
Oh my God.
Boxing, don't let them do it to you.
Somebody's in for a culture shock.
Don't
there,
let
like, somebody's going to be in for like a major culture shock. Like either Dana or the fighters. Dana's going to be like, oh, you just lost to Errol Spence? Fuck it. Go fight Keith Thurman.
I think the fighters would hate Dana.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
They would despise Dana. Oh man, yeah, I don't want to see Dana in
Like, what-
boxing.
What boxing promoter do you know that throws their own fighters under the bus? Like, who?
I mean, continually, nobody, because nobody's that stupid. But like, it's obviously happened before. Like, Aram threw Rigondeaux under the bus. Well, while he was fighting for him. But I can't think of anybody who's Dana White levels of stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Boxing as a whole, if you guys cherish what you got, don't let Uncle Dana get in there. He will flip that house upside down, shake everything out. It's not gonna go good. You gotta keep that man far, far away. Some people you just don't invite to the dinner table.
Dude, you guys you guys are no longer going to get $1 million checks for fighting like cab drivers.
Right.
You won't get $1 million checks for fighting like the #1 guy in the division.
Honestly.
He'll bring Reebok over there. You don't want that. You ready for some Reebok boxing gear?
Like, real talk. When is their deal up again? Like,
I don't know, but it's gotta hurry. It's gotta hurry, because this deal has been terrible.
Coming up.
It was a 7-year deal.
Terrible. I wonder how much money they lost. Like, it's
They all-
gotta be crazy, you know. 14? What?
It's only like $70 million for 7 years.
Yeah.
$10 million a year.
I don't understand what the benefit was. I don't think anybody won.
Dana won. The Fertitas won. So, according to Joey, one of the main things the UFC was told when they were shopping, Zuffa was told when they were shopping the UFC was, these dudes look like NASCAR drivers. You have to clean that. Like, you're not going to go on, like, ESPN and have a fighter with a fucking Condom Depot logo on their trunks. and like expect advertisers to buy in. You know what I mean? So they were like, get everybody in a uniform. And,
Like, I mean, I get that idea. I understand that concept. I get it. You want to appeal to the widest base that you can.
it's not even that. It's just like TV.
But
It's just TV people they have to appeal to. Because
yeah,
a big part of the UFC selling is they think they're going to get like a big deal on TV. Their deal with, I want to say their negotiation period with Spike is up already, or not Spike, Fox. So they're already accepting offers from other people.
They're not gonna get what they want.
They wanted some. I think they wanted like $400 million a year.
Yeah, because last year that article came out, they said they wanted a $4 billion deal, like a 10-year, $400 million a year.
nobody is putting those ugly
No.
Reebok uniforms on their network. Nobody. Nobody. You guys got to go way back to the drawing board, man.
Well, even
No.
besides that, like they were doing it with this idea that like this bubble exists around sports right now, where like the NBA just signed this ridiculous deal where all of a sudden Westbrook can get like $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't work in MMA.
Like
Also, side note, NBA promotes their talent, not just one person.
yeah. Well, besides that, like I think networks are going to realize that not just like the UFC, but like sports in general, just like they might be the only thing people still tune in for, but it's probably not going to be worth it in the long run.
I don't know. We'll see. But they
No network.
somebody's got to just redo.
Like, yeah. Also, like, but at the same time, somebody was dumb enough to buy the UFC for $4.3 billion or whatever.
I don't know. They got fooled into thinking that they could get a $4 billion TV deal. They could make their money back, but they're not going to get that.
Yeah. And they got fooled into thinking Ronda Rousey was going to stay around.
And they're about to drop this ball with Conor. I feel like this Conor bubble is about to explode.
You know, I always had like this conspiracy theory, like during the time when they were in negotiations of buying the UFC, and it was around the time, you know, Conor got in that fiasco where he got pulled out. Like, because the first event that WME ever made money off of was like 202, which was Conor and Nate. And I always thought in the back of my head, I wonder if like they like pulled Conor on purpose, you know, and that was like part of the negotiations.
See, that would make sense. But with like the UFC gets dumb lucky like that sometimes, though. Like Conor, like taking that instance, like with Conor, like they managed to work out a deal where Vince McMahon's like, you know what, we're gonna let Brock go fight in the UFC so he can promote SummerSlam. And speaking of which, I bet you $100 that the only reason Brock got cleared to go fight at SummerSlam is because Brock is Samoan. He's like, it's like he's beating The Rock.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, that guy got a good cash out.
Brock is the ultimate. Like before Conor, Brock was like the ultimate money mark, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just shenanigans on top of shenanigans on top of more shenanigans. I don't know. The sport just never sleeps. We still got a month left in the year, a little more than a month. So yeah,
We have a card next week, don't we?
yeah. I think Tabora and
Jesus Christ.
who's he fighting?
Verdum.
Verdum.
Yeah, I don't
I'm not
even
watching
remember
that.
who else is on that card. I honestly don't remember who else is on that card. I remember that one fight.
Will Brooks, Tim Means versus Bilal Muhammad. I mean,
Is Jessica Rose Clark and Beck Rawlings the co-main?
yes.
Oh.
Beck
Who?
Rawlings.
I'm just kidding.
Wait.
Oh, hold on. Is Dad Bod on this card? Dan Kelly, he's back.
The goat.
Card saved.
There we go. Elias Theodorou.
Oh, Dad bod might go down.
Nah, Dad Bod's got this. Dad Bod is
I
undefeated.
can remember the last time Elias Theodorou hurt somebody.
Dad Bod will zombie his way through that fight, and if he can outbox Rashad, he will outbox.
Oh my God. Does that even count as outboxing Rashad?
He outboxed Rashad Evans.
Ugh.
That was a GOAT performance.
If you say so.
Yeah, there is not much else on this card. Like, and by not much else, I mean next to nothing. I'm looking forward to Alexander Volkanovski, but that's basically it.
Yeah, but sometimes those cards turn out to be the most violent. Everybody will be trying to make a name. I'm pretty sure there'll be at least one brutal KO on that card that we can all go back and look at. I don't know how I feel about that main event though. I'm kind of indifferent to that main event.
I expect like the second Brown fight. I think that's what it's gonna be like. So dull kickboxing. So
yeah, I think we pretty much got through most of the shenanigans and all that good stuff that seemingly all happened within like this weird 48-hour span where just the MMA gods just let chaos reign and everything just went down. But yeah, so I guess that's about it for the show. So we'll do parting shots and shout outs. I only have one. I happened to catch, well, you know what, I lied. I didn't catch it. Only watched like 1.5 fights, but one championship had a card this weekend. Was headlined by Edward Foliang, who is their lightweight champion, versus Martin Nguyen, who is their featherweight champion. Nguyen goes up, cleans Foliang while he's doing, I can't remember if it was a spinning back fist or kick. He was doing some kind of spinning move, and in mid spin motion, Nguyen caught him with a right hand. Instant KO, and he is now a 2-division champ. So, shout outs to him. That KO was pretty nasty, and yeah, 2-division champ. So, shout outs to Martin Nguyen. That was a really, really dope KO. And other side note, Adriano Moraes, their flyweight champ, I think defended his belt too and retained that. So, shout outs to one championship. It looked like a pretty fun card from what I saw. I need to go back and watch most of the fights, but shout outs to Martin Nguyen.
All right, Stoges, you got one?
Yeah. Shout out to Team Alpha Male for going 2-0 last night. Good wins for Clay and Sage. Shout out to Lonzo Ball, the youngest player to get a triple double in NBA history.
Didn't they lose?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game. I was just that's still good though. That's good though.
Hey, we're
Shout out to Lonzo.
He surpasses LeBron as the youngest player to record a triple double. And pardoning shot goes out to the sports sound off. I don't appreciate those jabs on the podcast. One of these days, we're going to be on this podcast together, and I'm coming for you.
I'd like to point out, like, I had to hold myself back from saying stuff last week regarding where I had this whole story worked out about how you tried to attack TJ in the hotel. It got crazy. It got crazy from there, but I was like, you know, that's not right.
He's been through enough. We'll leave him alone.
And just nothing around, but yeah, good tumbler all night last night. Solid breakdown.
Yep. Shouts to Joey. who can manage to stay up through the entirety of the card, unlike myself, who fell asleep. All right, I got two. Well, first shout out to Big Crit, I guess, because Forever is a Mighty Long Time is my favorite album of the year.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna review that like tomorrow. But yeah, spoiler alert, that album's phenomenal. Like that album slaps so hard. That album is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
like
I have-
there are a few dudes who could put out like a double album and it'd be good the whole way through. So shouts to him.
I got
Oh,
a
what was
Crit's
that?
live from the underground right in front. I got Big Crit's album live from the underground right in front of me.
Nice. I got the which one? I think I ride around with like Cadillactica and like my side door of my car. Like, I just bought it from Best Buy. I'm like, I'm never taking it out, so why bother? But my other one is a little bit more I want to get real because we like to keep it light and fun. But Rose Namajunas won the UFC strawweight title last week, and considering her story, like I'm sure you guys saw like Tough or have at least heard heard about Rose's life before being a fighter and her growing up and everything like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And with the world seeming to go crazy this week with allegations of sexual misconduct basically coming from every sector of life. Like no matter where you fall on the political, social, even like I guess professional scale, it's just been a crazy week with allegations coming out against so many people, from Brett Ratner to senatorial candidates to George Takei. And so my shout outs to Rose Namajunas and all the other it was not a shout out so much as just like anyone in combat sports who's been victim of sexual misconduct and still excelling at the highest levels of the sport. Like, 'cause like this isn't just like I think it was like the U.S. gymnastics team came out against like one of the trainers this past week or in the past couple weeks for like misconduct. And this really is like it's not. Point being, it's not. There's a problem everywhere. If you go back to like 2008, Ronda Rousey was like blogging on like the U.S. judo team's website, and at this point, Ronda Rousey was considered like the best chance the U.S. team had for like an Olympic medal. She was blogging about this trainer who had allegations of sexual misconduct against him, and Team USA did not give a damn. And I think it's one of the reasons she ended up leaving. Like, it's not just like a female thing either. Like, Frank Shamrock, if either one of you read his book Uncaged, like his autobiography, he talks about like he was sexually harassed as a child. Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Mickey Ward, Tarisha Douglas, Caressa Shields, Beck Rollins, who's going to be fighting next week. Laura D'Auguste, former pound for pound top female fighter on the planet. Tara La Rosa, who alleges that the God, I can't remember his name, the head of a medical staff at like Cage Warriors molested her like while she was getting her medicals done.
Oh.
Yeah. Like shit is crazy. And it infects every sector of our lives. So if you're out there, just listen. When someone tells you something is fucked up, just listen. So if you take anything from this podcast, taste that. So that's all I got for this week.
That was really nice.
I don't even know how to follow that up.
You make me want to be a better person.
I don't know how I'm supposed to close now. I feel like I should have just faded out right there, like that.
Can I just
Oh,
say
man.
I'm sorry for the unprofessionalism this morning.
I mean,
How's the food?
Starbucks and
I want to know, was it
was it worth it?
yeah, it was.
There we go. That's
That's all we need to know.
That's it. You're right. That's all I want to know.
The Mexican people
That's all I wanna
were
know.
worth it.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
there
man.
was one other bit of news. If you want to end on a little bit of a lighter note,
All right.
Paige Van Zandt, she turned down fights with both Jessica Ai and Valentina Shevchenko.
I would have too.
Oh boy, she is yeah,
She wants that title shot.
very badly. Not trying to do any footwork though. Oh man,
That's gonna be
Yeah.
the easiest belt to win in all of MMA.
Yeah, that division I still have high hopes for, but it might get off to a rough start.
I'm just, hey, if Roxy wins it, I'm gonna be happy. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know how long she'll keep it, but yeah.
If it's
she-
one, if it lasts the same length as Carla Esparza's title reign, I'm good.
Yeah,
yeah, that's fine.
that's fine. Yeah.
At least you can say she made it. She made it to the top.
At least Carla Esparza, not Carla Esparza. At least Lauren Murphy didn't win.
Yeah.
She got blasted on Twitter by somebody. Who blasted her?
Eddie Alvarez blasted her.
Nah, was it did La Rosa? Was it La Rosa?
Sarah Larson?
I don't want to put words in. I think Tara blasted her on Twitter. I can't remember what she said though, but it wasn't anything kind. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure she.
It was.
I might be.
Lauren Murphy, you suck. You suck mentally. I told you 3 years ago you didn't belong in the UFC, and you still suck even now.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
It is real in these streets.
Shouts to Tara La Rosa.
what a fucking.
Twitter fingers are going hard.
I see no lies.
There is no bigger sore loser in all of combat sports than Lauren Murphy.
Oh man, yeah, she was not holding back punches on that ramp. But yeah, just real quick before we leave, any questions you have for the podcast, we do have an email that I set up that I forgot about, but it is there, dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. So if you want to submit questions, you can submit them. We may answer them on the show as long as you're not being too wild, too out of control. What'd you say?
There might be some anonymous mail in there the next.
All right. I check it. I do check it every day. I check it at least once a day. I sometimes I forget that email exists, but I check at least once a day. I go in there.
Oh my
So-
God! You know what? We forgot the biggest news of all. Super Fight League has its first Indian fighter in the UFC.
Uh-oh. What's the name?
God. I have to go back and look for it now. Also, there's gonna be a man versus woman fight somewhere in Russia.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That thing is wild, man.
No rules.
And the co-main
no
is like,
audience, nope.
and the co-main is Wes Sims, and no, the undercard is Wes Sims, and God, what's that other guy's
Travis
name?
Wyatt.
Oh,
Wyatt.
yes.
Yeah.
But our Super Fight League graduate is Bharat Kandare or Kandare. I don't know Indian names.
Future GOAT.
My goat?
Does he,
No.
does he have a fight book?
He's apparently been signed to the UFC.
Oh my god.
He's going to be fighting
He's got a
Pingyuan Liu from China in Shanghai.
Oh,
Hey, get him.
dude.
He's the new homie now. He's a friend of the show, assuming he doesn't have a criminal past or anything I don't know.
All Super Fight League fighters are friends of the show. Joey brought this up, but we really need to do like a Super Fight League live cast.
Oh my.
I feel like a lot of times when their cards are on, I'm always at work.
I feel like a lot of times nobody actually like says when their cards are actually on.
Yeah, they just pop up.
Like I'll just check like Twitter, and all of a sudden people are like tweeting about like how there's a Super Fight League card on, and I'm just like, dude, it's not even on like Sherdog or Tapology. How did you know about this?
Oh man.
What is Joe Rogan's thing called where they talk about the fight?
Fight Companion?
Yeah.
Fight Companion.
So you guys are gonna do that, but for fucking Super Fight League.
The greatest fight promotion.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm down.
Dude.
Which one of you? Which one of you is Rogan and which one of you is Shab?
I can't be Shab, man. I can't.
I don't think anyone wants to be Shab.
I'll be Bravo before I be Shab.
God,
no diss to Shab, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know.
Just
Shab.
kick Shab in the nuts.
Shab.
I hope I don't meet Shab in real life. He'll kill me.
I'll be Shab. I feel like
you can take that.
I feel like I say stupid enough stuff that I relate to him.
I mean, Shab, he's not bad all the time, but there's just some moments I've heard I'm like, Shab, I don't like. Bravo says wild stuff, and I just chalk it up to Bravo's just Bravo, so I just kind of just expect
The Earth
it.
is flat,
like
bro.
Right. When Bravo says stuff, like I'm just not even surprised. It doesn't even bother me. I'm like, that's just Bravo being Bravo. Shab sometimes though, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can't wait for like the podcast where Eddie Bravo has to explain curvature to Joe Rogan.
Oh my god.
Oh man, but yeah, you guys send emails to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. I check it once a day, so if you send something out,
Guys,
get
send
it.
us all the emails about Super Fight League.
Oh man,
I could not name one fighter from Super Fight League if I tried.
Okay, question. Because who was the first headliner for Super Fight League 1?
Michael Page.
It was like a heavyweight, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're close. You're on the right track.
What is this?
Tilave.
Nope.
I'm just gonna start throwing out names.
Jaydeep Singh.
No. The fact that they can never get Jaydeep Singh to fight in Super Fight League is like a crime.
Puds.
Jeff Munson.
No.
Who the fuck is it? Is it an Indian fighter?
No,
I bet you it's not.
Nope. You know what? I'll give you half of it. One half was James Thompson.
One half.
Oh Lord, no, I know this. Is it cheating if I Google?
Yes.
Didn't James Thompson fight the same person like 3 times? Or am I thinking of somebody
James
else?
Thompson's fought a bunch of people multiple times.
I have no idea.
No, he didn't fight Lashley, did he?
No, but
No,
you're
not
probably the closest. You're the closest you've ever been.
I'm gonna be mad when you say it because I know I'm gonna know who it is.
Stoges.
I have you.
It's the kid. It's the king. It's Bob Sapp.
That should have been the first name I even thought of.
No idea. What?
Oh man, who won?
Who do you think won?
What was it?
It was Bob Sapp versus James Thompson. I'd like to point out I'm on the Super Fight League YouTube, and this fight has over 10 million views.
Hey man, Bob Sapp. He brings those numbers. Oh man, his last fight was hilarious.
The rematch was the headliner for Super Fight League 3.
Wow.
As it should be.
Bob Sapp, the needle mover. Oh man, but you guys can listen. I don't even know how to I don't even know what I'm supposed to say after that.
The first comment on this video is Sapp is a little boy inside a giant's body.
My everlasting memory of him is Crow Cop making him cry.
Fuck.
Oh man, you guys can listen to this podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, like the Facebook page at Dojotalkpodcast. Follow me on Twitter at Serial Sensei. It's been another week of just shenanigans, madness, more reviews and stuff coming. There'll be so much happening this year. There'll be no lack of content. The stories keep rolling in. Cards every weekend until the end of the year. So,
I can't wait till it comes out the GSP piss dirty.
Don't.
I'm waiting for CJ to piss dirty.
If GSP pisses dirty, I'm canceling the show that
TJ
week.
pisses dirty, Cody pisses dirty.
Right. This was a joint effort.
I mean, he did say TJ told him how to do it.
Oh my god.
Oh man. As always, anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, we'll be here to talk about it.
Give me off
And we will catch you guys. We will catch you guys whenever we catch you guys.